Hello, good day, everyone. Welcome back to the show. My name is Sean David. Thanks for tuning in. In today's episode, again, we got a very special guest in the house. He directed, Lionheart, and he wrote the script for Bloodsport. Sheldon Lettich, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sean. Happy to be here.
Sheldon, you have to tell me if this is a true story or if somebody put up some bullshit on the internet. I read that you were offered to be part in Kickboxer in to a certain degree, but you didn't like the script, and then you said, "Okay, hey, I got this movie called Bloodsport." Da, 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 da. So, is it true that you were offered to be part in Kickboxer?
Yes, more than once. When I first met Mark DeSalle, he took me out to lunch, and he said. He knew I was a writer. He was going to hire me as a writer. And he was saying, different genres in films go through cycles. So there's a bunch of war movies for a while. There's a bunch of musicals for a while. Well, one genre that needs to be recycled, that's going to be recycled, is martial arts movies. And he had an idea for a martial arts movie that he wanted me to write. And it was called Kickboxer. So he pitched me the story. And I wasn't crazy about the story. In the original version, actually, there was no brother. So basically, Kurt defeats Tong Po in some local tournament. And Tong Po is pissed off. And he sneaks into Kurt's house at night, intending to take revenge. And Kurt's mother happens to be standing next to him in the kitchen. She comes down, like, "Kurt, honey, can I get you some cookies?" or something like that. And here comes Tong Po out of nowhere, throws a kick at Kurt. Kurt ducks, he misses him. And Tong Po kicks Kurt's mother in the face, okay, and kills his mother, all right? And then he flees. He's out of there. And Kurt's distraught. He wants to take revenge. So he goes to Thailand to avenge his mother's death. All right. So I thought this was kind of a lame idea.
Yes.
And I said, "Look, Mark, if you want to do a martial arts film, I got a great idea and a great title for a martial arts movie. Okay. It's Bloodsport." Wow. Bloodsport. He was instantly taken with that title. It's a great title. I love that title. So, then I tell him what Bloodsport's about. It's about this real guy named Frank Dux, who's a friend of mine. I know this guy really well. And he participated in this event called the Kumite, this martial arts event. And he was the champion of this martial arts event and the first Westerner to ever win the event. Would you like to meet the guy? And Mark's salivating. He's saying, "Yeah, this sounds terrific." So I set up a meeting. He meets with Frank Dux and myself, and he's loving this idea. So Mark basically, Mark's a businessman, so we did contracts. All right. This wasn't just he said, she said. We had signed contracts. So Frank signed a contract to allow Mark to use elements from his, quote, true life story. And he hired me to write a screenplay based on Frank Dux's true life story. So that's how that proceeded. Then after Bloodsport, when they got Kickboxer set up, this is after they actually shot Bloodsport. I don't think it had come out yet, but they had shot it. And so now Mark wanted to do, he came back to Kickboxer, got somebody else to write the script, came to Jean Claude and got Jean Claude hired to star in it, and wanted me to direct it. We had some issues there. I'm the one who came up with the idea for the brother. So we were having discussions about this. And I said, "Okay, look, the mother idea is bad. What about if he's got a brother?" Okay, great idea. Jean-Claude loved that idea. And in Thailand, there's a lot of Vietnam veterans living in Thailand that have basically, they liked Southeast Asia. They stayed in Southeast Asia after the war. So what if he's got like a manager or buddy who's a Vietnam veteran living in Thailand? So I came up with this character, Taylor. So that went into the script. So I had a lot of ideas there.
Wow.
But then there were disagreements that I was having with Mark. And Jean Claude and I just realized this is not going to work with me directing the movie because I have too many conflicts with Mark DeSalle. So I bowed out of it. And then Mark went ahead and, let's see, he got the DP of Bloodsport, David Worth, to co-direct the movie with him. So the two of them directed the movie. Look, I don't really love Kickboxer. It's got some great fights in it. They got Michelle Kesey to play Tong Po.
You don't like it? Really?
I'm not a big fan of Kickboxer. Maybe because Mark wanted me to direct it, and it didn't work out between the two of us. But I've seen the movie a number of times, and I'm not a big fan. Anyways, it's all true. I was approached to write it initially, diverted that to Bloodsport, and then I was approached to direct the movie and do a rewrite on it. And I just wasn't hitting it off with Mark, so that didn't happen. But Jean Claude still wanted to make a movie with me, so we ended up doing Lionheart because Sunil Shah came to Jean Claude after Kickboxer, and I got along much better with Sunil, and Sunil pretty much let me just run with the script, just do whatever you got to do, write a good script, and I did that, and we ended up making the movie.
If I look back at some of the most popular action movies from the 80s and early 1990s. So I got Bloodsport, I got Kickboxer, I got Lionheart, I got Only the Strong. Rambo 3, to me, I love that movie. And if I would have to say, or if I would have to rank Rambo 3 in the franchise, and I know some people disagree, but I prefer Rambo 3 to Rambo 2. But that's just me. But looking at the amount of cult classics that you were involved in, how proud are you about this accomplishment? Because we're talking about movies that lasted generations.
Right. Well, I'm proud of Rambo 3 also. I disagree with you. Well, I'm not going to disagree with somebody's opinion. Your opinion is your opinion, so I can't disagree with an opinion.
Okay, where you got Rambo 3?
But I like Rambo 2 better. Okay? Really? Yeah, I do. Okay. And Rambo 3 is the movie I worked on. I've got a writing credit on it, but I actually like Rambo 2 better. Rambo 2 pretty much set the template for future Rambo movies. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of the fact that I was involved with it. I've got a big poster of it hanging up here in my office.
Nice.
It's really not. It's not my movie so much as Sylvester Stallone. Like I wouldn't even say it's Peter McDonald's movie because Peter was basically just taking orders from Sly. Sly is the one who really directed the movie, and this is according to people in Israel who I know who worked on the movie, because they all worked on the Order and The Last Patrol with me. Same people.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting. And they everybody pretty much agreed. No, Sly was pretty much calling the shots. Peter was just setting up. He's a cinematographer, Peter McDonald, and he was setting up the shots, but Sly was basically directing the film. So it's not really my movie. I'm glad I'm a part of it. I'm proud to be a part of it, but that's not my movie. Whereas Lionheart, Double Impact, Only the Strong, those are my movies. And I'm proud of all three of those because they all came from nothing. They all came from, they weren't based on anything. Well, Double Impact, we kind of based on the Corsican Brothers. But it's really radically different than the Corsican Brothers. It's a completely different animal. but I'm proud of it. I'm proud of having created these things, and proud of the fact that 30 years later, there's so many fans out there that still love these movies.
Now, you worked with Jean Claude Van Damme on many occasions.
Right.
And I heard from people that also work with Van Damme that he's not an easy person to work with. And I'm not going to ask you if that's true because reasons. But tell me from your perspective, why did you guys work together that often? Was there some sort of extra chemistry? Was he the perfect choice for your type of movies? Why do you guys hook up so often?
Well, I think you nailed it right there. There was some great chemistry between us from the very first time we met. And I understood him because there was good chemistry between us. So that's how I was able to write those two characters in Double Impact, because they were both like two different sides of the coin with Jean Claude. He's many times he has said, I'm bipolar. And yeah, he is. He's got his good days. He's got his bad days. He's got his good side. He's got his bad side. But I knew all of these aspects of him. That's why I was able to create those two characters based on who he really was. And that's why he felt so comfortable playing those two characters. And with Lionheart, one of the reasons we hit it off so well is just because nobody had any respect for him as an actor back then. Basically, he was being offered, like Kickboxer. That's not an acting movie. Okay.
No, not at
all. And he was being offered lots of stuff like that. No Retreat, No Surrender. People basically saw him as a karate guy who, he's handsome. He's got a great physique. But he's basically a karate guy. He's no Robert De Niro. But I believed in him as an actor. And so that's why we hit it off so well on Lionheart. That was the first movie I directed him in, simply because I trusted him. I trusted his acting. I wrote some long dialogue passages for him. Everybody else was writing like simple, one sentence and then he throws a kick. I was giving him a lot more respect. And I got that respect back from him in spades, because it's not easy to get your first movie as a director. And he was very much a part of that, very much a part of me being the director of that film, because Sunil Shah, the producer, was nervous about that. He was going to invest all this money into the Jean Claude Van Damme movie. And at that point, Jean Claude was the star of Bloodsport, the star of Kickboxer. So he was really a bit of a movie star at that point. Mm-hmm. The original director was supposed to be Eric Carson.
Oh,
Eric ended up being a producer on Lionheart. Yeah, and Eric directed a few martial arts movies. He directed I believe The Octagon with Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
Yeah, he directed Angel Town for the same company, Imperial Entertainment, that Olivier Gruner starred in. He might have directed The Good Guys Wear Black. I'm not quite sure. That might have been Eric. But Eric was originally supposed to direct the film. And Jean Claude really fought for me to direct it, simply because, and he had done a movie with Eric, actually, Black Eagle.
Oh, okay, yeah. Not as great as a movie.
Yeah, I believe Eric did direct Black Eagle. And so, Jean Claude's performance is not great. He's basically just the Russian bad guy, Black Eagle. And he felt I was going to give him a lot more respect if I directed Lionheart. So he's the one that fought for me to direct the film. So he's the guy who was really responsible for my directing career.
Nice.
Taking off. And so I've owed that to him my entire life.
Nice. Now, Sheldon, unfortunately, we're already at the end of the episode, but I always finish my episodes, or usually finish them, with 2 questions.
Okay.
What is your best movie and what is your worst movie?
My worst movie it's easy. It's Last Patrol. Okay. A movie I did with Dolph Lundgren, simply because it had a terrible script. a couple of the producers were the writers of the script. They would not allow me to change a word of their precious screenplay. And so I did what I could with a movie. It had good dialogue, but basically no kind of story at all, made no kind of sense. And on top of that, we had no money at all. We had so little money. And the producer had promised us we're going to have everything we need, and we had jack. So that was a difficult one to make. And there are people who like the movie. There's things about it that I like, but for the most part, I've got to say that's my least liked movie
all right.
of all of them. And my favorite, it's hard to pin down a favorite because I've got so many. Probably somewhere between Lionheart and Double Impact. There you got a favorite, okay? But they're both so different from one another.
Yeah, very true.
It's hard for me to say. Yeah, with Lionheart, we purposely did not want to follow the rule book for action movies. That's why you don't meet the final adversary until the very end of the movie. He's got nothing to do with sending our hero on his journey. We broke every rule in the book. There's no guns in Lionheart. Nobody shoots a gun. Nobody stabs anybody with a knife. It's a fighting movie, but not an action movie. With Double Impact, we decided let's go for it. Let's make like the ultimate revenge movie. It's going to be a revenge movie. Okay, they killed our parents. We're going to kill every one of them, and we've got guns from start to finish. Guns, explosions, the whole nine yards. So like I said, they're very different from one another. But I love both of them.
I personally think Lionheart is the better movie from a filmmaker perspective because the movie has more ingredients, so to speak. It has drama. It has action. It's even funny at sometimes. I like Joshua, for example.
Right. He's great.
He got some great humor. The characters, I also think from an acting standpoint, even though Jean Claude is not saying too much, it was definitely a step forward in terms of acting and dialogue. And the movie played to its strength. I think that was even objectively speaking, I think it's a very good movie. As you said in the former episode, if you take the fights off, you still have a good movie.
Absolutely, yeah. With Double Impact, I wouldn't be able to say that because the action and the fights are so much a part of that movie that if you took them out, you wouldn't have much of a movie. So it's completely different.